Wait a minute.
Today.
Oh.
My badge! Where's my badge?
Anyways.
Huh? The blue is light. But that wasn't me. That's what I said.
Yeah, and so, listen, the other thing, we took photographs off his phone, or the sheriff's office did.
Which one? The 2019?
I don't know, the older phone and a search warrant. And there were photographs on that phone that I'm curious about. There's a photograph of him standing wearing a SWAT uniform.
Wait a minute.
I worked for,
Anyways.
and everyone's gonna laugh.
Oh.
And it says SWAT on it, and he's standing there holding an AR-15. Have you ever seen that AR-15? Have you ever seen it with a rifle?
Is it real?
I don't know, that's what I'm
I
asking.
have seen one, but I don't know if it's real.
Okay, you've seen him with an AR-15,
Yeah,
but you
but I
just
don't
don't
know
know
if
whether
it's
it's
real.
one of the BB gun things he carries or it's a real gun.
So when people ask, does he have guns? I mean, now I say, well, no, he doesn't have real handguns. But I've seen what you're talking about. I believe it's not. I don't believe it's real. I don't know. I don't believe it's real. I don't know.
Well, some of the guns that he carries, I mean, it's weird because if you go back and you look at some of the guns that he's carried in his holster in his uniform, some of them, even at a distance, you could tell that they're those little pepper ball things because they got a little, there's like a, the magazine's different than a real handgun magazine, but I know the last time he was arrested, the magazine didn't have that on it. So I mean, at a distance, in a holster, it would look just like my Glock. I mean,
Oh yes,
right.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and so I'm just curious, and obviously when they stopped him, they took it out and they realized it was a pepper ball gun or a BB gun or whatever the hell it is. But that rifle, I mean, when you look at the photograph, you can't really tell because you can't see enough of it. But it looks like an AR-15. And obviously he's a convicted felon. He's not, and he's not supposed to have a gun, but the guy that's got those sorts of issues going on in that head, you worry about him hurting somebody or doing something crazy. That's why I'm asking, where is that gun usually kept? That rifle?
It's in his fake army bag, like the big duffel bags they have, and that's in his closet. In his office.
Okay. What about at his house? Does he have guns at his house that you're aware of? How many times have you been inside his house?
Which one?
Where he lives?
The newest one. I don't know. Over 20?
Over 20? Okay. And I'm asking that because at some point if the police do have to go there, it'll be important for them to know if the guy's got if this guy's got an arsenal in there, they need to know that before they go up to the door that he's got, rifles and that kind of shit because it's a safety issue for them. So have you ever?
He has a lot of knives. I have his knives. I don't know what. I mean, there's a lot of stuff of his I just throw away, but he has a lot of knives.
Right. Okay. Rifles, though, have you seen any other rifles in the house? You said you've seen the one with that AR-15. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Have you seen any other rifles? Any other guns, long guns?
Would that look like guns or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, would you know the difference between a real AR-15 and a
not that.
fake one?
I wouldn't know.
Have you seen any other rifles? You know what a rifle is, correct?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. So have you seen any other rifles at the house?
I thought they were just.
I can promise you, this isn't gonna go the way you're planning.
Officer?
He was 12 at the scene when they cuffed him up.
But yeah, he has a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so he has several, but you don't know whether those are pepper ball guns or they're rifles, or do you know?
I haven't. I mean, I didn't look at it. I didn't check it, so I don't.
All right. Well, how many of those long guns? When I say long guns, I'm talking about anything.
Not a
that
shotgun.
Okay.
But just like what you have. No?
Well, no. Do you know? This is a handgun. Okay?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm talking about
like a shotgun.
Something this size.
yes.
Oh. Wow.
Have you seen anything that looks that way?
No, just the one that you were talking about.
Just the one rifle?
Yeah.
If I show you
looks
that,
like a, okay, go ahead, yeah.
if I show you that picture, okay, would that help?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, I thought it was shotgun was okay. I don't-
Well, a shotgun and a rifle the same size.
Okay.
This is a handgun. One hand you can use a rifle and shotgun. You use two hands.
Okay.
You know, it's called a long gun because it's like this size.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
okay,
Carry it like this.
okay.
That's called a long gun.
I've only shot like once in my life, obviously.
Did you?
Once.
When?
On a date.
Oh yeah. Crazy date.
Sorry you had to stay.
Oh no, no
Are you
worries.
recording?
Go back here.
No.
I know it doesn't matter.
I
My
don't
whole,
know.
everything about me is online. So I'm sorry, what am I doing?
Is that, have you ever seen that gun?
I've seen this picture.
But what I'm asking you, do you know if that gun is a real gun or is that gun a BB gun?
It looks,
Have you ever seen that gun?
yes,
Okay.
it looks real when it's all put together. I've seen it
Right.
apart in pieces.
Okay, so you've never seen it like this?
Together, no.
Because when he breaks it apart, when he puts it in the bag?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So at this point, you don't know. Do you know if he has any, does he only have one of these or does he have multiple?
He has more than one of those, but I've never, yeah, like I said, I've never seen it like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And you can see this, if you look, it says SWAT. And then you can see SWAT across there.
I've seen that vest.
Right, yeah, and these are
Yeah.
magazine, that's where you would store.
Do you know where that was taken?
I have no idea. We took it off of this was on his phone with other photographs. When the sheriff's office took the phone, they did search warrants on the phone and that became.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
There are a lot of pictures in there, and so, but if that gun is a real gun, I need to make sure that the officers who will come in contact with him going forward are aware of that. So that's why I'm asking the question.
Okay, so who's going to meet him?
I don't know, but
Okay.
he lives in Osceola County. If they responded to his house a while back because his wife's head was bleeding, and the neighbor said that he beat her up, and
He threw a phone at her head.
okay, why did he throw a phone at her head?
Because she accused him of cheating.
Okay. So he threw a phone at her head.
Yeah.
How often does he have these violent outburst type things?
He's okay for like a few weeks, and then
Yeah.
he just snaps, and he just, you know how they say 0 to 60? It's literally that. Like you're just standing there, and he'll all of a sudden just like throw stuff across the room, and then he's like coming at you. That's just it's very quick. You don't have time to react.
He loses his temper very quickly and comes up.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, you have my email address.
Yes.
And you send me whatever you and I'll as I have time, I'll look through it, and if it's something that and if you can at least put where it came from and where you think it is, that way that'll help me get to the right, agencies.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, if you're concerned the sheriff's office won't investigate it, there's always the highway patrol. I know that at one point I think they had some interest in his.
Well, I mean, he lied. I mean, again, I don't know if I should say this, but I mean.
You can use that.
Oh, there's I didn't even know that.
It's all right.
I don't know if I should say. They said I'm okay. Like when I talked to the investigator, they said it's okay, but then he's not a cop like you, so. Jeremy created the whole scene, the whole accident. And he was telling me, like, right after we did it, that he was creating the whole scene, and he was doing it for insurance, and he was saying that I'm like a baby, because I've never been in a car accident, I've never been injured, and he was saying, oh, you're gonna get like $30,000, I'm gonna get like 10, 15, and he had like this whole thing that he was trying to do, and he was lying to the trooper, so
they staged that.
he staged that.
Okay, he staged that.
Yeah.
You know if he's done that in the past? Because I know they're
I believe
suing,
so.
I know that they're involved in a lawsuit with that guy in Winter Park, that the brother, Dylan.
Heenan?
Yeah,
Oh, Jerome Heenan, the rich
yeah,
guy.
the guy that they were beating, that were, his brother got in front of the car and was
Dylan,
stopping
yeah.
and beating on the car and all that shit.
Yeah.
They're suing that guy, right?
And then
This
he's
is something
counter-suing.
different.
Yeah, that's
Right,
right.
you're talking, but you're talking about something different from that, right?
That guy that we hit, or he does have an attorney now. And I guess Florida Department of
The
whatever,
insurance,
right,
yeah.
they're gonna interview, like I said, I met with them today, and they said they're gonna interview him, and they couldn't really do a lot because of COVID.
Are they staging these accidents because they're having financial problems, or it's just they need
No,
money?
it's financial problems, and I met with Detective Warner in January when Jeremy was in North Carolina, and lying and saying he wasn't. And I met with him because Jeremy told me to up the insurance that we had, because we had commercial insurance. And so
I thought part of the issue was that he had registered those as private vehicles and
that's his wife's issue. She lied for him.
lied
She
to
lied
the
for him.
insurance company,
Mhm.
saying that that those. I mean, I don't know how an insurance company could think that
All those vehicles
they
are
look like police cars. They look like police cars, and police motorcycles. You register something that looks like
Well, Warner said that that he was on the application and on the recorded calls, because he has all the recorded calls for the
Right.
insurance. And Jeremy was saying there was no markings on it, there was nothing, there was no
So he
lights.
lied to the insurance company about it being painted up like police cars.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm sure that they didn't know that he was driving like a maniac, running people off the road. And,
No. So Jeremy asked me to up the commercial, general, whatever, liability, because he was like, he said, if things don't go better in this case, we're gonna have a robbery. I'm like, of course, so it sounds stupid because it sounds like I'm,
oh, so he wanted you to have insurance so they could
Yeah.
fake a robbery and then
Right.
say we were
and
robbed.
then in April we had a vandalism. I wasn't there, Jeremy got there before I did, and when I got there, he was cleaning everything up, which was really weird to me. The only thing that was wrong was the slash tires and a little bit of real paint. Nothing was like, no windows are broken, nothing was keyed. You would think somebody would do all those
Right.
things, but it was just very
Yeah,
minor.
that is kind of odd. And this was right after he had taken out insurance?
Yeah, so we got
Okay.
the insurance in the beginning of January, and then he wanted me to up it, and then I never did, I forgot to, and then it happened in April, and then
Right.
that's when he was arrested the same day.
Hmm.
They're also investigating him for an arson at an old office because he never called the fire department. And they said they've never seen a fire break out where someone doesn't call the fire department.
Do they know how the fire started?
Well, I gave them pictures of the pictures, he took of the fire, and they're supposed to be investigating that too. The arson, like Tallahassee's
Right.
arson,
And did he collect insurance on that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Huh. Wow. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's sort of complicated. I've never met anybody quite like him. I've been doing this for a pretty long time. Do you know why he tells people he was in the military? Has he ever told you, I do this because, or?
15154, confirming your 51622.
I think he just wanted to be a police officer, and I think he has an idea of what he wants. So he wanted to have the police career, and then, be in the military somewhat, and then he wanted to have like an Arab wife. So he has an idea
And my little 14,
of
that's my
what
husband.
he
He's
wants.
looking out the window. They don't
And
see anything
I
at
don't
this
know,
time.
because he's not crazy and
They were unable to know what they were
everywhere.
saying.
So I don't know
Right.
if it's like, it's not, I don't think he's sick as far as like, having a real mental illness. I just
Right.
think he's a narcissist or something.
Okay.
He doesn't want to be normal and average.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because he's telling people he was in special forces and he was ranger.
That's what I
and all
told
that,
the IG
I'm
guys.
not sure why you would tell, make up stuff like that.
Yeah.
Him and that other guy, there was another guy that was working for him for a while who was telling people he was in
Who?
special
Who's
forces.
that?
That Chance guy was around telling everybody he was.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
He wasn't?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
He
didn't
wasn't in
know that.
special forces. He did work for the Air Marshal Service, but he was not in special forces.
Wow.
And so you have these two guys running around telling everybody they're heroes, and it's just simply not true. Do you know how you met Chance, this Air Marshal?
I think that was during a charity.
Charity ride? Because a lot of what I've seen videos that doesn't look like they're doing funerals, they're doing these charity things, like that Corvette show on Interstate 95.
He used to do you know Michael Breen, the ambulance guy that gave him the money for the ambulance? The
Is it?
attorney?
I know who he is, and I only know who he is because of this case.
Correct. He used to do a lot of charity runs for Michael. Like Michael had like a motorcycle club, so
Okay.
that's how they all.
And so Michael gave him the money for the ambulances? How much did those ambulances cost?
I think he gave him like 10,000 each. I think he has like 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
Mike repoed, I think, a couple of them, and then Randall Roches has one left.
Well, so he still has one of the ambulances? What was he gonna do with the ambulances? I know that he did some fake deal with the wrestlers, or they they pretended like the wrestler was hurt and like took him out in a stretcher, and
I don't know.
was he going to try to be, I get the fake police cars and the fake police motorcycles
To the right,
and
it'll be a stage
going out
house
and,
with
you know,
trim.
fake pulling
There's
people
a lot
over,
of
but
parking in front of the home, but it's leaving the
didn't
area.
intend to like
Almost like
go
if we're close to
show up and
it.
take people to the hospital.
Yeah, but he was, being a sex offender, a felon, he couldn't do it, that's why he had, that girl there, and that's why he had other people to kind of, he was just the backing for it, and he was just gonna use their faces to make the money, so.
But how would you make money with an ambulance? I don't get the
He
scam.
wanted
What's
to,
the?
he just wanted, how like some people need to be transported to a hospital from their home or something like that, or they are going to a doctor's office or appointment. That's what he was trying to do.
But you have to have trained paramedics or.
I understand. Well, a couple of them, Star Eucalon or whatever, she was a paramedic. She was in school.
So we're just in a parking, we had a 911 hang up from the business
A lot
line
of them
on
have like a
Central.
little bit.
I think there are a lot of
Security.
rules
I
to
know.
driving ambulances.
I know.
Taking care of people.
I'm not saying it's a
Medical.
dumb idea.
I
I
think
told
you
him
have
it was
to
a dumb
be.
idea.
You really have to have some training, and there's some licensure issues. These paramedics that drive these rescue trucks for the fire department and these ambulances. They all answer to a medical director.
I know.
There's a doctor over all these people.
I know.
And so you can't just get an ambulance and run around and wrap a stethoscope around your neck and start transporting hurt people and sick people. It doesn't work like
I
that.
told him it was stupid, but he took it anyway, and he put all his money into
Air fatigue.
wrapping the ambulances
Right.
and putting all these nice lights and stuff. He spent so much
We're
money
not
in it.
requesting a spam speaker to
He's
the
supposed to
salon
be paying
attempted
Mike
to
back,
correct
because it was a
that
loan,
link
so he
you.
was
Right,
supposed to pay
okay.
back. And he didn't pay Mike for like 6 months, and then Mike and I started talking, and Mike was saying that he didn't want to have anything to do with Jeremy, and that Jeremy used him. And then one day in the middle of the night, Mike just went and took the ambulances, and then Jeremy got mad at me because he thought I had something to do with it. I said, I didn't know anything about it.
So he came because he repoed the ambulances. Okay, well, and how many ambulances did he repo?
2.
47.
So that's right. So he still has one left. And you said, who has that one?
Randall.
Randall.
Roches.
Did Randall still work for him? So Randall just kept the ambulance?
They were supposed to be, because Randall lives in Lake County, so he has like a lot of land or something out there, and they're just kind of like,
Are they just hiding the ambulance or something? Hiding it from this Michael Breen guy? And what about all the other, where are the police cars and the police motorcycles?
Well, the tow truck and the Tahoe was repoed like 3 days ago.
Who repoed them?
Tony.
I thought he owned those outright. I remember you said that on YouTube, that he owned them outright.
Yeah,
Does he-
stupid.
So he doesn't own, does he own the others outright, or are there loans on them? Or
Jeremy's a liar.
are there loans on them? Or?
Jeremy's a liar. I don't know if you know this or not.
Yeah.
I actually met Tony today, and we
Okay.
talked, and because I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my car, like what I'm doing, because me and Jeremy aren't talking and
Right.
all this other stuff, and he has to divest everything. Like I think the judge says he has to get rid of everything
Right.
in your state. So I asked Tony, I said, what do you want me to do? Because is your name on the title for this car too? And he said that his name is on the title for all the cars. So it's his name and Jeremy's name, is what he's saying, on all the vehicles. He's going around trying to repo everything right now. Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a mess. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I was at the bond hearings because they wanted me to testify about the phone call, and then
Yeah.
I never testified. They never put me to stand. But I mean, and I know that the last I knew that the judge had revoked the bond, and that was kind of that.
That was
And
it,
then later, I heard from the state attorney that they worked out some sort of plea deal where he was going to get rid of this stuff. I'm really not sure how that all. And so, but you're saying that Jeremy doesn't own the stuff outright. That this Tony guy,
His name is on the title.
he owns. He's a part owner of this too. So I mean, I don't know how he's going to get rid of it if this guy Tony also is a part owner. I mean,
Right.
I don't.
He also said the motorcycles. He has the titles for the motorcycles too, is what he told me. I'm like, oh my god, he's looking for everything. So I just gave him some addresses, and I'm like,
He's just trying to get rid of it so that he can. I mean, is
He
Jeremy
wants-
trying to get rid of it so he can pay a mirror, or what's the?
he's getting rid of it. Yeah, he needs money. Jeremy
Okay.
is broke.
Okay.
I mean, I probably have more money than Jeremy does. He's broke. Yeah.
I mean, did you think when he was telling you that he was going to do this in vitro? You know how expensive that is?
Yeah,
It's expensive. I mean, that's several $1,000s. It costs a lot of money.
He keeps saying that he's gonna get money from IA, like he's gonna get 100,000 from IA.
No, yeah, I heard him tell you that. I think he told you that when he was telling you. I mean, I listened to y'all talk about the internal affairs, say this. I mean, I heard the whole thing. I think at one point he told you that y'all were going to get 100 or it was between $100,000 and $200,000.
That's what he said. Like he
Right.
said
Yes.
that.
Right. Yes. Yeah. He was telling you that it was. I don't know how he did. Yeah, I guess he spoke to Natalie Jackson about this, and she told him that's what it was worth. Or
He talked to her a while back, and then he talked to her recently, but
Right.
she had just started. Amir told him not to talk to anyone or any other attorneys unless they're like talking together. So
I got you.
I don't know if she ever reached
Boy,
out
that
to
would have been she sues the police a lot, so
I know.
it'd be kind of interesting to see her suing the real police on behalf of the fake police. That would be quite a story, I guess.
Yeah.
So okay, all right.
Yeah, so he's not at 102 Drennan anymore. They cleaned that place out. They just like
172
ran,
Right.
and so that's another landlord that's not gonna get 2 months
Rent.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, trying to think if there's anything else.
10-4.
So what else can you think of?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, my role in this has been to, I was called in to investigate Mark DiStefano's misconduct.
Did you ever think it would like become this big?
No. I mean, look, it is what it is. I mean, as I got involved and learned more and learned some of the, some of the history and all that. I mean, I got the video from the Tampa Police Department and them over there telling me that going off on those officers over there. But I know my GS level, and you know your GS level, and that whole thing. I served. I was a major in the U.S. Army, and then I got the video from Chicago where he's flinging the chairs off of the balcony at the record driver and telling him. It seemed like he had them convinced he was a police officer in Orlando. So
He was very upset with me because of the things I said, like when we weren't together. But those are things that he said. I mean,
Like what kind
the
of things?
Oviedo police thing is that who makes that up? Who out of all the police departments, who just says, "Oh, I'm going to choose Oviedo"? I mean, he said that because he asked me, "Well, where are you from? Like, where did you grow up?" And I said, "I grew up in Oviedo." And he said, "Oh, I used to be an Oviedo police officer. When were you?" And so that's kind of how we.
When y'all first met? Is that
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, I was an Army Ranger in the Special Forces, and then I was a Oviedo Police, and okay. Well. All right. Well. All right. Well, you have my email address, and
I do.
you know anything if you come run across something you think I need to know.
Do you think the
something?
state attorney will actually care that he called me? I feel like he hates me.
I don't listen. I don't. And I think you're looking at this all wrong. I don't think anybody hates you, and I don't think.
Really?
Right. Why would they hate you? They really.
I don't
They
know.
barely know you. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, I think if there's an issue for them, it won't be an issue of like or dislike. It will be whether they believe you or not.
Sure.
I mean, that's going to be the issue.
You just not
You know,
really like unit check.
if you give them this information and they believe it, and there's something to corroborate that, then it will probably matter. If they don't believe you and there's not something to corroborate what you're telling them, because you have to remember, okay, you kind of told us one thing then another, and so that makes it harder. I mean, I've had people come to me and tell me things, and so you move forward in an investigation, and if the person has given conflicting testimony in the past, it's difficult to convince a judge, like getting a warrant. Okay, if I go to a judge and say, I want to get a search warrant, and I'm basing my probable cause to get the search warrant based on what this person said, I can't, I have an obligation to tell the judge if that person has lied and said other things in the past, or said, and so, but that doesn't mean that I can't get the warrant. What that means is that I would probably need to show the judge that I can verify what this person said by some independent method. So if you say, he called me at this time, and this time is after the judge said not to, and you can provide some physical evidence that, you know, on your phone, then it may matter, because it's not now, it's not just you saying it, there's an actual record of it, there's a phone record of that.
Right.
So yeah, that might, I don't know, I mean, and I don't really know what, I think what's going on now in the state attorney's office and the meter are probably talking back and forth about some sort of, some sort of arrangement. Obviously, you know, that if they're getting rid of if he's getting rid of the stuff because the state attorney's asked or demanded he do that, there's, you know, probably some sort of, something in the works in terms of the deal. I don't know. So, you know, I get a subpoena, I show up. That's essentially what I do. I mean, if he's a report that he commits a crime in Windermere, I investigate it. If information comes in that he's committed a crime in Sanford, I contact the Sanford police and I turn the information over.
What happened to, I saw, because Michael Green let me see all the emails and stuff. What happened to like this, you guys thought he did a burglary or something?
First I've heard of that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know it was suspected of a burglary. I mean, where did you see these emails?
I went to his office.
So how did Green get an email of him? I don't get the...
It was in someone's emails. I could have sworn it was, maybe it wasn't you. But he wanted all of Hitler's emails from like 2017.
Who wanted all of Hitler's emails?
Green.
Okay, how did he must have made a public records request.
Yeah,
Number reference, you call Health Central, we talk to security.
Right. Yeah, I know there have been several. I mean,
Did you want to get it in around or close it
I know
out?
that a lot of people made, we got a public records request. I got 3 or 4 from you. We got one from either.
Didn't Victor do one? No, Victor Lopez? Photo? I thought he did one.
He may have. I don't keep track of that.
Yeah.
I know we got some from. I know we got one from one of the TV stations, either Channel 35 or Channel 2. One of them made one, and then the only one I ever got was that YouTube guy. He made a public request, and we only gave him what we had. We didn't give him the sheriff's office. The only thing that YouTube guy ever got from us was the
155, time check.
information from our search warrant, the videos that we got from his camera, the video from our body cameras. Now, we had more because we got that from the sheriff's office, but
155,
we
time
told that
check.
guy you have to go there to get that. And I told him if you,
1858.
because they wouldn't give it to him, I guess. I think at one point he called back and said that they would not give it to him, so, told him to contact the state attorney's office. Florida's got a very liberal public records laws. If we get these requests, I mean, we can say no, if it's exempt. In other words, we can say no if, it's related to an ongoing investigation and we think it will hinder that. We can say no, like anything we can hold back. For example, if we have a document that would identify a rape victim or a child abuse victim, we can redact information out of that so that it would not identify that person. But we can't just say no because it would embarrass us. I mean, we can't do that. I mean, that's against the law. And so
Can I make a police report against him for recording me?
you'd have to go to the proper agency, but I think that's,
I mean, what is the statute of limitation on that? It's not a felony?
It is a felony. It's probably 2 or 3 years, I would think. I know he's recorded you several times because a lot of the stuff where he's recorded you is on the internet. It's on YouTube where he's recorded you. And he recorded the state attorney's office.
Yeah.
He recorded the FBI. I don't know. Where did that recording take place?
I think they're all in Orange County, right?
Okay. When did it occur?
2018, 2019, well, mostly 2019.
Yeah, well, it might still be. And you're unaware that you're being recorded?
Obviously.
Yeah, that would be a crime. That would be a crime. So, if it happened in the city, you could call the PD, if it happened in the county, you call the sheriff's office. They can't refuse to take a report. They'd have to take a report. I don't know what they would do in terms of follow-up on it. The whole relationship with Jeremy and people at the sheriff's office, I don't know. I really don't know what the deal is there. I can't say. So.
I mean, I don't think they're friends, but I get what you're saying, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of things said, and who knows what is true and what isn't. So, our role, we arrested him for the one case, and they filed a complaint on he filed a complaint on the officers, and I followed up with a complaint. We cooperated with other agencies and provided information, and they've cooperated with us. I mean, but that's not because we're picking on Jeremy. We do that, and we do that all the time.
What power does Florida Highway Patrol have? They don't have any power to arrest.
Yeah, sure they do. Oh, absolutely. And they would work. They would certainly work cases, like that. I mean, the impersonating cases, or if he's out there on the highway pulling people over, they would look into that. I would imagine.
Okay.
So, I can call there and ask. I can certainly find out. But just shoot me a link, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, go get your stuff.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Is it raining still?
All right, man. We really needed the rain, so. All right, take care. You recorded everything, right? Good.
All my guys have pepper balls.
Sergeant?
They're able to pull information off the internet and fucking tie it to me. Because I have polygraph after polygraph where I tell the truth and I never touched that fucking girl. And polygraph after polygraph, and yet I still went to jail for it.